Welcome back to another update video, guys, and we are going to be bringing you all the juicy information that just released in today's update. As always, I really appreciate all the love and support you have been showing on this channel. And guys, if you could share with your alliance and ask them to come and subscribe to the channel, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm wondering, can we hit it by the end of April? As always, guys, I really appreciate you all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let's jump straight into it. So, guys, welcome back. We are going to be looking at the brand new update that is just launched here today for Warpath, and there is 2 new officers. I'm very excited to check them out, guys, and see what they're like. So the first thing, guys, is the new group migration feature. Now this is gonna make it so that you could join a group so that you could all migrate together instead of like just all of you going separately. Just say maybe someone makes the mistake, they go to the wrong server, whatever it may be. So I'm pretty sure, guys, as long as you all have the available tokens, you're gonna be able to migrate as a group. So moving on to the next thing, we have the brand new Herald of Peace. Doesn't look like he brings much peace, but we will find out soon. And then finally, we got Lone Eagle, which is going to be a new bomber officer. It's been a while, actually, since we've had a bomber officer. So, guys, moving in, we're going to do the first things first. Check out our officers. It's always the most exciting part of a new update is the new officers. And here, you need to own a level 50 or above Camp Liberty Air Force officer. So, for me, I currently have Silver Comet, and he is Blue Camp, which means he's part of Liberty. So therefore, boom, we already have him. So instantly, guys, we've got the brand new officer here, and I'm really excited to see what Lone Eagle Tyler Mitchell has. So, guys, his very first skill is a tactical skill here, and is when you are on a Vanguard division or a Martyr's Watch bomber troop, bombing a target deals extra skill damage of damage coefficient 2,250. That is insane. So that's the first one. But there's a second part. If you are on a Liberty bomber troop, it reduces the bombing interval by 20%, which is already pretty decent, but it also increases the damage buff by 40%. That is honestly crazy. That's a really high damage buff for an air unit in general, but of course on a Liberty where you're already dealing to 7 different coordinates on the map, you're now doing 40% damage on all of that. So that's an insanely high skill. Moving on to the next skill, guys, we have got another damage buff of 20%. No matter what unit you're using this on, you're going to gain an extra 20% damage. And then we also have intercept damage reduction. Now, obviously, intercept is the moment you engage in a fight. So normally, if you've ever seen a fighter, as soon as it engages, if its intercept is high, it's instantly going to deal a little chunk of HP. The higher the intercept, the more HP it gets off of that instant burst of damage. So this is going to reduce any incoming damage, basically, from fighters up to 50% of that intercept reduction. So that's actually really good skill, especially on a bomber. The next thing here, guys, is stability buff and firepower buff. Again, this is a pretty decent skill. I wouldn't say it's insane, but it is decent enough to warrant getting this officer. The next thing here, and finally, it's the Awoken version, and it kind of just increases level 1 skill. And right here, as we can see, when on a Vanguard or Martyr's Watch, bombing a target deals an extra skill damage of 2,250, but deals even more extra skill damage 850 coefficient if no allied troop is within 1 map grid. So, guys, if you are bombing something that's no one's around, you're going to be dealing 3,100 damage coefficient. That is the highest we've ever seen on any officer. And then finally, guys, when on a Liberty bomber, it reduces the bombing interval by 20%. And then you also get the 40% damage. And then further on, guys, if it is attacking a stationary unit, for example, rallies, if a rally is sitting there doing nothing and they're not taking care, then it increases by an extra 25%. So you could be dealing up to 65% damage. That is honestly crazy. And I think this officer here is absolutely amazing. And I'm just going to instantly tell you guys who I think this is going to work well with. You could, obviously, if you have Rising Star, he is going to be someone you definitely want to think about potentially getting this with, especially if you're on a Liberty bomber. Because if you're on a Liberty bomber, guys, you're going to be having that bombing interval reduction by 20%, which means you're going to be getting a total of 40% reduction in speed. And that is honestly crazy because you're going to be able to get these attacks off very fast. And as I said, guys, don't get me wrong, this officer right here is a very, very good officer. You're going to be just dealing an insane amount of damage each time you do your bombing runs when you're using a Liberty. But if you are chasing someone with a Martyr's Watch bomber or a Vanguard bomber, I'm honestly going to say, guys, the person you're going to want to be pairing this up with is going to be El Cartero. And the reason for using El Cartero is not only does he stack up so much extra damage on top of what he already has. But on top of that, guys, what you're going to be doing is slowing them down with his ultimate effect, where it immobilizes them for 2 seconds. So this honestly is going to be the best pairing to have. Is you're going to want to have El Cartero with the brand new Lone Eagle if you're on a Master's Watch or if you're on a Vanguard. And then finally, I would honestly say even if you're on a Liberty, you could still use these 2 options. Don't get me wrong. If you have El Cartero Awoken and you want to get the new officer but you don't have a second one, still keep El Cartero. He's still going to be good. But if you really want to maximize on how fast your bombing runs go, then maybe you want to think about potentially getting Rising Star with the new officer of Lone Eagle if you are on a Liberty. But as I said, guys, no matter what option you have, if you have Lone Eagle with either El Cartero or Rising Star, this is going to be the best option for you. And then moving over to the brand new infantry officer, guys, it is the first time we have got something that's not human. I think, wait, unless I'm wrong, I don't think we've had something that's not a human before. I mean, I don't know what universe we're in here. Maybe we're in a different universe. But no, I think everyone here is a human. So, guys, this is going to be the first time we've had a new officer that is not a human. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. So, a bear. What can this bear do? So, what this bear does is, in fact, increases the damage of an infantry. So, this is a attacking kind of, considering he's called Herald of the Peace, he doesn't bring much peace, guys. So, this officer is in fact built for infantry, and as you can see here, it increases the damage by 50%. That is actually a really high amount. So 50% damage increase, and on top of that you get an extra 40% damage increase with your normal attacks. Honestly, guys, that is crazy. So this damage buff is going to buff any of the skills on the troop, but on top of that, it's also then going to give you just an insane amount of extra damage with its normal attack. So helis, light tanks, MBs, they might start to take a little bit of damage now. The next skill, 40% firepower. Nothing crazy. It's still a decent amount though. So again, it's a pretty good skill here. And then moving on to the next one, the attack of this officer's infantry troop slows its target, reducing the target speed by 30%. This can be triggered every 4 seconds. So as we know, infantry are pretty fast on this game. They're not the slowest units on the game, but they're not the fastest. So there's some things that can outrun it. But if you have this skill, you're actually going to be able to pretty much chase down quite a few different units on the map, which I think is going to be a really cool addition to infantry. It's going to make them a lot more versatile in the field. And then finally, we have a damage buff, guys, of 10% and also a damage resist of 10%. Again, this is just adding to that extra firepower, but also bringing in a bit of protection at the same time. So guys, his awoken skill here is the attack of this officer's infantry troop has a 20% chance to deal skill damage to its target, damage coefficient of 600. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. So it's not the best awoken skill, if I'm honest with you. It's basically you just get 600 coefficient, which is not really a lot, to be fair, but the rest of his skills genuinely are really good. Especially this first skill. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not too sure how effective this officer is going to be, but it definitely does change the dynamics when it comes to attacking. Do I think this is going to be an officer that a lot of people will get? Most likely, yes. And the reason I think that they're going to get this is because it's going to definitely give them a better opportunity in the field. But if anyone here who mains infantry knows, they're not designed for getting a lot of kills. So there's a good friend of mine who I know who runs 3 infantry. Big shout out to Granny. Don't know if you're watching this, Granny, but I've always thought of Granny because he always says that he's trying to do 3 infantry. He wants to see how it works, but unfortunately, he doesn't get a lot of kills. He's definitely struggling in the kills department. So this officer, I reckon he's going to get it because this will definitely help him get a lot more kills. And pairing it up, I don't know who to pair this up with. Now, technically, if you want to go for an officer that's going to deal damage, you're probably going to want to look at maybe White Wolf, or maybe instead of White Wolf here, guys, you could have Lonesome Star. Now, Lonesome Star does deal a decent amount of damage. He has his little shield, but honestly, guys, he's one of these officers that, although he seems decent on paper, in practicality, he's not the best officer out there. And you could probably ask a lot of people who have run infantry, they're rather disappointed with Lonesome Star and how he actually performs in the field, although he is meant to be a field officer. So with that being said, guys, I definitely think that maybe now we have Herald of the Peace. He's definitely the field officer that infantry infantry is needed. I do believe that he's going to be the strongest attacking infantry officer, but infantry aren't designed really for attacking. So this will be a cool kind of way to see how it's going to evolve and definitely change the unit moving forward. So guys, if you are in a level 4 conquest, about to start a level 4 conquest, I should say, not currently in one, but if you're about to start one within the next couple of days, you're going to be able to try out the new commander tactics. I haven't had a chance to look at this yet, but I'm really excited to see what it brings. It's a whole new element to the game. So guys, they've done a few changes to the Operation Hegemon, and they're only very slight ones, but now you only are required to select one actual time frame. Before you had to select two and it randomly chose, so you kind of had to be available for both, but now you only need to choose one. So maybe talk to your team, find out what time in the map is the best for them. This was actually my alliance's favorite time anyway when we put up a poll, so we're going to be keeping it. But as I said guys, you now only need or are required to have one ticked at a time. So as many of you guys know, there was some sort of like resource caches around the map, and with these resource caches guys, you were able to in fact kind of gain a little bit of extra points. But with these points here, they have now been reduced, so you don't quite get as many, but they still are definitely going to help you try and get a couple of points. They have also increased the amount of points you earn from killing enemies. So I know a lot of people try to stay away from the killing as much as they could, focus on grabbing these strategic points, because the killing didn't give you as many points as collecting all of this different stuff. So they have now fixed that, and in fact you do get a lot more points now from killing other units. So guys, the next thing that has come available for this update, which I actually think is a really good quality of life update, as you can see, I've reset my helicopter for you guys right now to show you this. When you have a new unit that you want to maybe try and upgrade very fast, once you do that very first instance of the upgrade, as you can see here, it is now 8.0 guys, and what you need to do is click this new, it's next to the quick enhance. So quick enhance will make it go all the way to maxed out on 8.0, but if you press the star with the arrows above it here, you can choose exactly where you want to send it to. So for me, I'm going to want to put it straight to 9-star, so you can confirm and it will go straight to 9-star. You don't have to go through each and every single one. You can go straight from 8-star all the way up to 9-star. And of course, if you have reset your biggest unit and then you want to make a 9.2, you can go straight to 9.2, which I think is absolutely amazing. It does put you at the lower level of it. So now, as you can see, I'm 9-star, but I'm not able to completely go up the next way. So for now, I just need to go and manually do the rest of it. I think this is an absolutely amazing addition to it, and it just saves quite a bit of time, especially if you're going to be someone who wants to change around their options, whether you want to go from base to field units. I really think this is an awesome quality of life add-on, and I think it's going to save a lot of time overall. So guys, after reading, there's new base upgrades, and what I mean by this is when someone is attacking your base, the way it works now is instead of it just randomly selecting a target, it still randomly selects a target within the last 10 seconds. So what I'm wondering, again, I'm sorry that I don't have any concrete evidence of this in the video. It will be something I'm going to test and upload a short, so make sure you are keeping your eye on the channel. Remember, hit that subscribe button guys, notification bells on. But I'm going to be uploading a short very soon, as soon as I get some action, to try and test this theory. But let's just say I'm taking a wander around, okay, and I'm not base to base, so I'm not right next to my base, and I need to bring my Howies out a fair distance. And let's just say I'm doing that, and I'm about to tank this base here, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure that if I tank the base and start attacking it, normally what you would do is the moment your unit, your tanking unit, is about to die, you would pull away, which means the base will no longer target your unit because you're not attacking it. But what I feel like it says here in the patch notes, that it will attack any unit that was attacking your base within the last 10 seconds. So if your tanking unit dies and you've pulled away in time before it normally switches, I'm pretty sure it's still going to switch and attack your Howie, purely based on the fact that your Howie was attacking within the last 10 seconds. So maybe keep an eye out for that, guys. It might genuinely cost you quite a few units now. Base defending might be a little bit easier, but we'll find out, I'm pretty sure. And as I said, guys, I will release a video trying to confirm and you know, with the Mythbusters. We're going to be the Mythbusters for you as soon as I can. So make sure you have the notifications on, because I'm going to release that video as soon as possible. So guys, another little quality of life update. As you can see here, we have current tags on the map, and they have made them much smaller. This is honestly so much better, guys, and I really am happy, including the flags. The flags, as you can see here above the CCs, they're also a lot smaller. And in general, guys, as you can see, look at this. It makes so much of a difference, guys. It really is so much cleaner, and it takes up nowhere near as much room as it used to. So guys, that pretty much sums up today's video, but I want to ask you, what are the new officers are you going to be getting? Please let me know down below if you're thinking about getting a new infantry officer, or if you're thinking about getting a new bomber officer. If you are someone who has bombers, very high level bombers, the new Lone Eagle is definitely a one to get. Absolutely insane, no matter what unit you put it on. As always, guys, I really appreciate all the love and support. Guys, we are so close to 1,000 subs, and I just want to say, if you are able to, please share this video with your alliance. I'd really appreciate any of the love and support. If we could try and hit 1,000 by the end of the month, that would be insane. I love you all, guys. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy attacking your neighbor's base, and as always, I'll catch you in the next